It's the Book of Alpha-Ronomy, homie. Read it or weep.
What is it about you having love for the man that created you that gives her such pause, that is such an issue for the woman who carried your father's seed? She felt him enough, either loved him enough or lusted after him enough to carry his seed, nurture his seed with her body. But now suddenly she has an issue with you having love for that very man. There are several reasons for this. The main reason is that she herself has an issue with the fact that she is now alone, 9 times out of 10, because of her own doing, attempting to raise a child as a single mother. There is no such thing as a successful single mother raising a child. There are children who don't end up dead, who don't end up in prison, who don't end up in the most terrible situations. None of the people who accomplish the greatest things in the world come from single parent homes. Yes, there are a lot of athletes. There are a lot of rappers. There are a lot of D-boys. There aren't a lot of lawyers and judges. No presidents of the United States, nor of Fortune 500 companies that come from single parent homes. That is not to knock those particular people. It is to knock the environment of single parenthood, specifically when that single parent is your mother. Let's chop it up. Now, I say these things to say this. You and I know that if you were raised by your single mother, there are some things that you missed as far as being taught to be a man, as far as being raised in the throes of manhood, as far as being able to relate to the world from the perspective of a masculine man. Because it indeed takes your father to put you in that particular scenario. You cannot just wake up one day and decide that, well, I know that I was raised by my mother, but I'm all man. Like, there's nothing I'm missing. My mother taught me how to be a man. There's not a man alive who becomes an adult and believes that his mother taught him how to be a man. Take away his coaches. Take away his mentors. Take away all of the men who meant the most to him in his life, and you'll find a man who is effeminate. You'll find a man who is overly emotional. Hell, for the most part, you're still overly emotional. The single parent guys are the ones who are always shooting people over nothing, always creating drama over nothing, always wanting to fight over nothing, always killing their women over nothing, always beating their women, always beating their children, always beating their friends, always robbing people, always doing all of these things, always crying in sports, always doing. The sports world has become the way it is because most of the athletes are from single parent homes, namely single mother environments. This is not a knock more than it is a fact that the majority of today's athletes, the overwhelming majority of today's athletes, come from single parent homes. Rappers as well, the majority of them come from single parent homes. How many athletes of today have we seen with their fathers? There's Steph Curry, there's Klay Thompson. Name me some more. I've seen James Harden's mom. I've seen Kevin Durant's mom. I've seen LeBron James's mom. Tell me the ones. I guarantee you off the top of your head, you can't come up with 10 guys in all of sports, not just basketball, in all of sports. You have a hard time coming up with 10 guys, 10 really popular athletes, the superstar athletes, whose fathers you've seen. There are a few whose father have showed up recently in their lives, but I mean whose fathers have been in their lives completely. I remember Dale Curry playing basketball. I remember Michael Thompson playing basketball. I was a youngster, but I remember those guys. Back then, men watched the NBA. Now, men don't. Boys do. Young boys are more enthralled with basketball than ever. Young boys are more enthralled with football than ever because it caters to their lack of masculinity. It caters to their low levels of testosterone. But for the most part, once we become adults, we see the error in the ways of the NBA. Adam Silver is nothing like David Stern. I can't remember the commissioner of the NFL. You know who I'm talking about. He's nothing like Paul Tagliabue. So what we're looking at now is the fact that your mother wants you to hate your father because she, deep down inside, no matter how much she brags about being able to raise a boy into a man and being a father and a mother and giving herself props on Father's Day and Mother's Day, deep down inside, her ass knows that she needs assistance raising you into a man. And although there may be a stepdad around who can fill in a little bit, deep down inside, as you grow and start to take on your father's characteristics, both physically, mentally, and emotionally, she realizes the error in her ways. Because no matter what that man did, most of the times it's because the man was not willing to settle down in a monogamous relationship. And now here you are, not settling down in a monogamous relationship, and she's okay with that. She wants you to take your time. She don't want you to go out there and rush into a relationship, rush into all of these things. But here she is holding animosity towards your father for not doing that very same thing. When you become a man, you must go and have a sit down with your father. You must talk to him. You must let him know that the way you interacted with him was based solely on what your mother told you. And you can't fault him for not trying to find you and explain it away. I'm a man. I'm not finna explain to no kid what the hell a woman's saying to him. He gonna believe the woman anyway. You see, if you already believe her, there's nothing I can tell you as a child that is gonna make you believe me. Because everything I tell you, you can go right back. She has to prove your father left us. That's why I have to work all of these hours. Your father left us. No, most times fathers don't leave. They realize the error of their ways. And they realize they cannot make it work with this woman. There are not many men who are not in the home with their children who did not try to make it work with that woman. 9 times out of 10, it was the woman's decision to push the man out of the household, out of the environment, rather. Not out of the household necessarily, but out of the parenting environment. And it doesn't matter if you pay child support. That's not enough. I see men who pay $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month and still call a deadbeat dad because they don't show up at the damn games. If you're paying $3,000 a month, I can't afford to come to no game, bitch. I got to go get money. To those men, I say, be strong, brothers. Understand that we're in a society that does everything in its power to pit women against you, to pit women against me. The bottom line is this, man. If you are pissed at your dad, and it's solely based on what your mom told you, and if you were a child and tried to confront your dad, you're a child. Even now, even if you're an adult, you're still your father's son. You approach him with respect. You talk to your father with respect. And after that conversation that you have with him, then you decide how you're going to move forward. In the meantime, you owe your father the respect of being a man who does not take the word of a woman. Because now as an adult man, even as a teenage boy, you realize that women lie. They will tell you something about someone else. A woman going to save her own ass. No matter what, no matter who has to get burned in the process, no matter who has to get hurt in the process, a woman is going to save her own ass. That is her goal. Self-preservation is the number one law of her land, and it should be the number one law of yours. And every man, if you have missed out on your father, trust me, it doesn't matter if you're 21, 22, 23, if you're 30, if you're 40. Developing that relationship with your father will change your life. And 9 times out of 10, he wants that relationship with you. But as a grown man, I know your mother told you he should chase you down, but grown men don't chase people down. You're the child. Approach your father with respect. You have to gain his respect. He doesn't have to gain yours. Remember that. And I'm saying this because this is the same way I'm with my father. I earned my father's respect. My father doesn't have to earn my respect. He never had to. He doesn't have to seek my approval. I have to seek his. That's the respect that you give your elders as a man, and what elder in your life is greater than your father. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think. I'll see you guys in a minute. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.
Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this real shit. And as always, alpha's up, beta's down. Peace.